I was 23 when I started pastoring. 23 years old. You can go wow again. When I became the pastor of this church, I was 23. My waist size was 27. 28. What is it now? 35. I didn't ask you to guess. Who that guessed it out loud? Guess it. But it was amazing. I was, oh my God, that's enough. I'm not going to say anymore. But I look back and I think, that's young. There's a risk in that. And there's a whole lot of backstory that probably I was an old young person. But one person from Atlanta wrote a letter, said he's the young man with the old head. And that's been true. I've always, that's a whole story in itself. My age could have been a hindrance to me. My real estate exposure, pastors manage a lot of real estate. And from the beginning, I jumped into real estate issues. And my real estate experience was amazing. I never closed a property until our facility on East Broad Street. I was 25 years old when I first closed the property. And when I called the lawyer and he told me, he said, okay, Ricky, we're going to close. Pastor, we're going to close. And I didn't know what he meant. And I hung up the phone. And I thought, what does he mean by close? I didn't know what that meant. So you know what I did? I called him back. And you don't know. You try to sound dignified. So I said, I just thought I'd call back to ask one question. What do you mean when you say closed? Like really? In other words, I don't know what you said. And here's why. Because I lived in apartments all my life. Wow. Until I got married. I didn't have a house until I was 28. The first property I ever closed was a church property. And I didn't know what I was doing. I had to read, ask questions. Try. No internet. You had to go to the library. Look it up. Dress up and pray you get it right. My business experience, I had no business mentoring. Nobody really mentored me. I just asked. I had to go find people. How do you do this? And how do you do that? I had to ask. Mary, I don't know if Mary's in here now, but Mary, yeah, she is. Mary used to laugh at me all the time. Mary, would you do me a favor? I want to let you come up here. I want you to come up here for a second. Come up here. Get that mic. I know you hate it. I know you hate it, Mary. Come on. It's okay. Give Mary Nelson a big hand. Come on. Give Mary Nelson a big hand. Come on. Mary is so funny. You're going to love this. Because if I tell the story, Mary, it's not like when you tell it. It really is not. You used to say that I used to, and hold this mic for a second. Okay, you knew me way back back in my early 20s, right?
Yes.
Right. So you say you should dress up every day.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
And I used to come by the store you worked at,
yes,
eat lunch with you guys, right?
Yes.
And tell me about, and you said I used to rush back. What did you say?
Well, Pastor used to come by the store every day and eat lunch with us. And around 12:30 or something, he'd be leaving. I said, well, why are you rushing? He said, because I'm going to, go back to church. I said, you ain't got that many people. But one thing I can say about Pastor, he was just as faithful then with all these people he has now, with the 35 or 40 or 50 people we had then. I'm telling you, he was right on time. He never missed a beat. He had his little briefcase and all the other stuff he worked with. But he was never late. He was always on time.
So you teach me about briefcase. It wasn't there, ain't nothing in there. You said.
I said, but he was secretary. He was a janitor. He did it all. Pastor did it all.
Thank you, Mary. God bless you. Wow.